You're listening to the voice of IWA Flip here on Interfed Radio. Welcome to Around the United Nations League, Trash Talk Edition. With me back in studios, Commissioner Scott Anderson. Commissioner, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me. Ready to dive into this trash talk.
You know what? These
I
dog
could barely
days.
not talk about it during the commissioner.
Yeah,
show.
I was going to tell you that same thing. I go, you know what? Because everything is so wrapped and tangled within this upcoming pay-per-view, yeah, we were almost spilling beans where we shouldn't have. We shouldn't have. But now, just to get right into it, let's start with your boys here, Valen and Naul. Looks like
United
now
Nations champion crossed out.
I was going to tell you that. Now is that now he lost it to McFleece, huh?
Yeah. So, and I was considering whether or not I wanted to take it out, and I thought, no, like, he would wear that shame of having lost the title, right? So he's going to exit out that he is no longer the champion. So I'll probably take it out for next cycle. But, just he is no longer United Nations champion. Alaska McFleece has taken his crown.
Now, crown out of the equation. Now, was it Naul or Valen that started bad-mouthing the Joneses?
It was Valen as we led into the gauntlet match. He was kind of discussing his belief that he's going to win, and he specifically called out Archie as maybe not being on his level.
Ooh.
And so Archie and Brody responded last cycle. There was a physical altercation between the Joneses and Valen and Naul, and now we see here where Naul confirms that the match is going to take place at the pay-per-view. So
now this is what I mean. This is, and again, obviously this is my opinion, but this is one of those matchups that or like matches at this pay-per-view that could springboard this into a whole nother category into the following pay-per-view,
Yeah.
Because I mean,
sure.
Brody and Archie are relatively new.
Mm-hmm.
And like we'll hear from them, they think your two boys are past their prime.
Possibly, yeah. I think the biggest thing is I'm going to have to up my game because the Joneses bring top level trash talk every time, and I feel like I'm going to have to up my game to match them. But yeah, I'm excited. I think it could be a really awesome feud going in, like you mentioned, even going past, not to bypass Global's Greatest, which is going to be an amazing show, but we could see this following through after that.
Oh yeah.
There is one thing I want to draw your attention to at the end here. There's a reference to a certain group. Did you notice this at the end? Arya's last line.
Oh, nice.
Kind of a shout out and a quasi dig to his former Noble House buddies. So we haven't seen Noble House in a while, but Valen has not forgotten.
But hey, anytime there's a chance to shout out Noble House.
Oh, anytime. I love Noble House. I will always be a fan of Noble House. I hope to see them back sooner than later.
So
be
Noble down or get put down.
Yeah. But Arya says now there's no longer an option. So.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, anytime you can, bring your reader into, when you start off in a Category 4 tornado, I mean, that alone has you, has your attention.
Right. So, we have the Hurricane Dorian coming up from the Bahamas, right? And so, and you bring kind of an element of realism here, right? And so Brody and Archie are in Florida. Even Brody is like, this seems kind of stupid. Like, what are we doing here, right? But Archie, man, kudos. He lays it on with this idea of, people think they know, and naturally people, the talking heads, will assume or will guess or will theorize that someone with the record of Valinaria or Naul will be victorious against the Joneses. But here we have this hurricane that hasn't done what it's supposed to do, and they're going to show the same thing to the fans, the office, to Quick Kill Inc. We have Archie, who is ready to prove himself.
Yeah, I mean, quick kill. I mean, I said it before the Rumble. Quick Kill Inc. is they are the UNL. I mean, they're I mean, no, not to take anything away from Texas Hick, Rick Rancher, who's like I said, history is well written here in the UNL as well. But yeah, I mean, those Quick Kill guys, they've laid down the law here for quite some time. So looks like Archie and Brody want a piece of it now. Man.
They are stepping up to the plate, ready to hit a home run.
Now, speaking of home runs, adding Vladimir Verkempt, that right there is a grand slam.
I would have to agree. Vladimir becoming a part of Double Dutch 2000.
Now we said since the return of Art Deco, because Art Deco is the man, the brain, the genius, the
fashion stylist.
Hey, he does it all. Now that you add flexing, shouldn't it be like I think the Masked Man said it should be like
quad Dutch
or
quad
no
Dutch?
the quad 4,000, maybe quadruple Dutch 4,000,
possibly. I mean, you could make that argument. Yeah, I definitely. It's very interesting to me to see, we had the Vandenbergs, right? Jacob and Timothy. Timothy becomes TVB. They split. Jacob teams up with Vladimir. They split. Jacob comes back to teaming with his cousin, and now everything has come full circle, right? All of that intertwining feud and all of that intertwining animosity has become this Double Dutch 2000, and I am very excited to see where this goes. I think Vladimir is a perfect fit for Jacob and TVB and the ever stylish Art Deco.
Oh yeah. Now, talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yes.
Poor CC.
CC DeVille, he had a rough month.
On air and everything. I mean, but he did one thing. He did one big positive thing. He beat McFleece.
He did. He is in the finals of the global tournament. That's fair. Yeah. Yes. So I will be interested to see if anything develops from this, where Vladimir pours the pink drink over CC DeVille's head. If anything develops from this following the Global's Greatest, or maybe even if that will play a part in Global's Greatest. They each have separate matches, but you never know.
Now, I mean, that thing is so hard to get off of your clothes. It sticks,
Yeah.
I mean, poor CC.
Yes, we have had 2 pink drink dunk tank matches. So, you can ask the losers of those matches how that feels.
Can you name the 2 losers?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me that. Um,
Dun, dun,
I
dun.
can
For
I
next show. For
remember.
next show. For next show.
I No, we're gonna do it now. I feel like Vince McMahon right now. We're we'll, we're gonna do it now. So I do recall the first one was between Naul and Jacob, and Naul was victorious. The second one was between Jacob and Tobin Wells, but I'm double checking who was victorious.
Dun, dun, that's right, Tobin the Wells.
Tobin, that was such a good. Oh, shout out to Jim. Yeah, can't wait. Hopefully, hopefully we see Jim back at some point. But okay, so now over him. Oh, I can't find it. It's bugging me. Of course, I said I would find it, and now I'm not. So this isn't dead air, folks. This is just us filling time.
No, this is a well prepped, well oiled machine.
Nothing wrong here.
Who asked this damn question? Who asked? No, but I mean, okay. It's stuff like this that I think keeps people, in your league. I always mention the structure and just being able to even have that information somewhere hidden within your. The natives are getting.
Go ahead.
I said the natives behind me are getting restless. The natives.
I was one report too early. So I was looking in the wrong. I was looking in report 26, and I should have been looking in report 27. Mm-hmm. Okay, so in only the second ever Pink Drink Dunk Tank match, the action was wild from the start, as both Wells and Vandenberg brought their absolute best to the biggest show of the year. After several close calls on both ends, Jacob hit his finishing move that I can't pronounce on the entrance ramp before dropping Tobin in the tank. So
nice.
Tobin the Well is probably still trying to get all that pink drink off.
Oh yeah, that thing
out of his tights.
That thing is nasty. Yes. Now, we mentioned this during the commissioner's show about how grueling best of 7 series is.
Oh, for sure.
And you never know. I mean, just the tone that the trash talk in both of the corners. Obviously they had no idea who was going to win.
Right.
But the tone. I mean, I think we mentioned this off air. Just the respect, from both sides. No one attacked anybody. No one was. Sneak attacking or anything of that nature.
Yeah, no behind the back attacks to gain an underhanded advantage. Just both groups each cycle coming out saying they want their best. And to me, kind of the unspoken thing is that they wanted their opponents at their best, right? They wanted no excuses. Right. They wanted to win. So kudos, yes, for sure.
Now, nothing against that best of 7 because, like I said, we mentioned it, up there with this next feud.
Yes.
And I think everyone knew from the start that this wasn't going to be a one and done.
With two personalities as big as McFleece and Rancher, whatever the outcome, you knew the other one was going to be looking to get some revenge.
Right. And I think what I didn't expect is how much they would just go at each other.
Right. I mean, how personal.
Right. Exactly. Where the Dead Rabbits and Quick Kill one, I thought had more potential to go goes sideways.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be more, hey, you know what? They've both been in this league for some time. I thought this was going to be more the respect feud,
Yeah.
as opposed to the Dead Rabbits, who are a newcomer, going up against a veteran. I thought this one would be, but no. These two
It went
guys
the other
just,
way. Yeah.
whew, oh my goodness. Now, obviously, we got the history lesson as to why, Alaska is bigger and better than Texas, but
Right.
um, then Rancher goes and knocks out Verkamp after losing, and then, in my opinion, hasn't been the same. I mean,
He seems to be. See, before I would say he was kind of arrogant, a little off his rocker, but but controlled, right? In control. And I would say he has been definitely more unhinged. We see his hair is unkept. He doesn't seem to be. He seems like he has kind of lost his self control.
that's not
And
good.
this loss, no, that's definitely not good.
That's not
Not
good.
good. Not good for the rest of the UNL, and particularly Alaska McFleece.
Now, he's obviously not calling him Alaska.
Right, of course.
I know he's thrown at he for a minute there. I thought he was going to go with the snowflake nickname, but I guess that was just a one and done. But
Yeah.
he mentions his former name now.
The Fortune 500. Yeah. Well, in this accusation that McFleece maybe earned his wealth with some insider trading, which obviously would ruin the image that McFleece has, and not only that, but it's a felony, so that's not good.
Huh.
Now, depending on how up you are, you get away with felonies, but that's neither here nor there. You know, but so now we see Alaska become the United Nations champion, and at this moment of triumph, we see Rick Rancher interject himself, talk about the insider trading, talk about the secret being out, but then we find out who told Rancher this information.
Dun, dun, dun.
Would you like to do the honors, sir?
Tenbatsu.
What? And what's wild is, I was talking to Tom, and he said, did you see that coming? And I said, I should have. I should have seen it coming, but I didn't. So Timbatsu is the inside source, the one who gave away this information on McFleece. So even though Timbatsu beat McFleece at World Warfare 2 and kind of the broken friendship match, and we thought that Timbatsu moved on, he was willing to give this information to Rick Rancher. It sounds like for a pretty handsome fee. So Timbatsu has not forgotten the misdeeds of Alaska McFleece from last year.
Oh no, I don't think. Yeah,
And
that's
so now that what's that the phrase? It's coming home to roost.
Well, I mean, if you thought, I mean, me personally, I thought that seeing Rancher, punch out Vlexing was tough. I think that
Yeah.
slap.
Yeah.
I mean, that slap that that
was
thing echoed
tough.
throughout the whole lockers. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, yeah. The breaking of the friendship, and that was, and to call a spade, that was on McFleece. That was McFleece who cost himself that friendship with Tenbatsu. So, but now we see kind of the roles reversed, right? The honky tonk man, Jake Snake, Roberts, role reversals. Whereas Tembatsu, I would think, was the kind of heroic figure in that match. Now we see McFleece on this redemption, and Tembatsu has done something pretty underhanded. So now we kind of see this role reversal. So it's interesting to me to see this come back around, but now the roles are really reversed.
Yeah, because you kind of figure, I mean, Timbatu definitely shares no feelings for.
No, he has not forgotten what McFleece did.
Oh yeah. I don't give a. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now, let's see here. Now, what's this next one we got here?
Well, it looks like Jake the Snake Sabo is not quite ready to let Philippe Rousseau off the hook. So we'll see if the Dragon has anything to say in response to that.
I mean, the dragon. We actually heard from the dragon last cycle, so it looks like the dragon
Right.
was. Looks like he was ready to go, but did we lose the dragon this cycle again?
We did.
Ah.
We did. So
Now, I think we've said it before. I mean, and obviously, I've fallen into that category from time to time where life just gets the better of me, and but I think that's the one thing I enjoy about the UNL is it has structure you can come back to and you can wrap yourself up, relatively easy and get back in the groove. Yeah, it's going to take a couple of cycles to get things going. So, shout out to Jake the Snake for keeping the characters kind of moving along, and hopefully the dragon hears this and and we see him again,
yeah.
because
I mean, if we can get the Dragon versus the Snake at the next pay-per-view, that would be a match I would definitely like to see. But it's kind of all about keeping those all the moving parts together. So
yeah, oh yeah, no, I mean, that's what makes those seven best of seven series that much more, just oh yeah, man, just adds to that prestige of even winning that. So shout out to the Dead Rabbits, way to bring it home.
for sure.
Let's see here. What do we got next?
Mr. Ezekiel Crane, I do believe, saying that he is prepared to teach the Masked Man a lesson and reveal his true identity.
Now, where did we go wrong? I mean, Ezekiel Crane comes into the UNL, changes the landscape. We start seeing,
Yes.
a whole bunch of new faces come in, which is awesome.
Right. Right. Oh,
love
yeah.
seeing new people. Now with anything else, I mean, this is still, a league within the IWA, and some people's IWA play gets affected with more people, so some people go and that's why I think it's even more critical or more fun having something like the Bronze Age around, that we're going to give everybody, hey, if it got too hot here in the UNL for you, if the water is just too many people, there's options. And I think the Bronze Age seal of approval on these leagues is just, I mean, just the managers involved with it, and that just, I kid you not. I mean, the effort that goes into those leagues is amazing, and it just, yeah, I think adding that Bronze Age it's just it's gonna make the UNL just have that extra little accent, and I don't know where you go from something so positive like the Bronze Age to, and then you go to the backseat of the car match. I mean, yeah, great ideas on one
Unsanctioned.
side. Oh my goodness, it's we're gonna kill this poor war veteran on
Well, I
TV,
mean,
and
if I may, this is the agreement that Ezekiel Crane made, and so the UNL
the
agreed to pay
man
his.
just got suplexed,
And
was in
with
the
the
hospital,
UNL,
and you're gonna let him just make up his own contract? What kind? Come on, guys, let's. Oh no.
um, we the UNL did pay his medical bills for that. That was part of the agreement.
Okay.
So that has been taken care of. We admit no fault, but we did take care of the hospital bill for that.
Now
But
the masked man already went on air saying that he's just gonna flip over and start kicking Ezekiel in the face. So
so
dude, this is lawsuits waiting to happen here. I mean,
yeah, it
this
is
poor.
unsanctioned. It is unsanctioned. So Ezekiel Crane is going to hold us blameless. So he got to pick the stipulation, and he is able to unmask the masked wrestler if he wins. So that brought him to the dance.
Mm.
So he has this unsanctioned backseat of a car match with the mask of the masked wrestler on
Now
the line.
now
It
now
doesn't get any
for
bigger than that.
now for anyone listening, and it's like they're like, what the hell's going on here? Like backseat of the car match. What Ezekiel Crane is in a wheelchair. He's a war veteran. He had some injuries. I'm assuming that happened, in his days of fighting. So he's been restricted to a wheelchair, and this bum in a mask has decided to pick on him for no apparent good reason. We won't even get into the reasons, but
Yeah, and then
I,
at the last pay per view, he got 5 minutes in the ring with Ezekiel alone because he defeated Thomas Escobar, and so that's where kind of the injuries of Ezekiel Crane stem from, and still it is burned in my brain as probably one of my top like 3 IWA images. Uh, is the masked wrestler superplexing Ezekiel Crane onto the steel steps.
you're a bad man. You're
Yeah,
bad.
that mass wrestler, he is something else.
Now, Ezekiel Crane, which we are all Ezekiel Crane,
Of course, of course.
came in here and just like I want to say they were like like the Care Bears, and just made friends and hugged everybody and just became everybody's buddy buddies, but that's not the case. That's not the case.
Well, I mean, he has his kind of his group, right? So he has his group of followers, who, if I may be so bold, really changed a lot of the landscape in
Yeah.
the UNL, and I have mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again. I think that part of the reason why we see more multi wrestler groups coming together is a direct response to Ezekiel Crane having this collage and this coalition of talent that wrestlers looked around the locker room and they go, well, if he's got all of these guys, I need somebody watching my back.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean it's yeah. I mean it led to the new and improved and out of control version of Double Dutch. I mean, look at them.
yeah, I mean that's a powerhouse, quad group.
Yeah.
So
Now,
speaking of one of Ezekiel Crane's associates or members, not 106, 107, but we have Solomon Ying here.
oh Solomon. Oh man, that
And
that that table doesn't look like it's sanctioned either. By the way.
it It does not look like any table I've ever seen at a wrestling show. But
Nope.
I would also not want Solomon to put me through that table. That looks like that would be
No.
quite painful.
Yeah, those things look like 4x6s or like
Yeah.
what kind of pieces of wood are like what?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I mentioned it on the commish side, and it bears mentioning. Solomon is solely focused 100% on getting back at Tembatsu. So we'll see if that affects what is now going to be a tables match.
Nice.
So
Now,
we will see
I mean, Timbatu looks like Timbatu's been running errands and maybe what
maybe
did you say?
distracted.
Yeah,
I
lost his
would.
focus.
I would.
Now,
That's not to say that he can't still be victorious. He most certainly could. But I find that if one guy is solely focused on you and the other guy is not solely focused on you, we'll see. We'll see how it plays.
yeah, no, I mean, Timbatu is definitely, I put him in that crafty veteran here in the UNL. They've always, made a name for themselves, and definitely not one to overlook anytime you have to face him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If Solomon can get a win over Tembatsu in a tables match, that's a hallmark victory. So.
Oh yeah.
It's a good opportunity.
Now, give me a minute because we gotta make sure we prep and give them their proper airtime because over the last couple of shows, uh, the blatant disrespect that has gone on, and I mean, Poison. They've always fought for respect. I mean, 18 cycles, CC DeVille, 18.
Yeah.
18 cycles as the Can-Am champion.
Yes.
And it almost seems like like I should play a clip from Rodney Dangerfield saying I get no respect around here.
No respect. Yeah.
No respect. But and then you got this showboating, purple suit wearing war veteran who just takes the UNL by storm, and I don't think Poison is on the Ezekiel Crane fan club.
I don't think so either. And we have Poison, who had their for lack of a better term their association with the Associates for the end of the tag event that shall go unnamed. But now we have them set to face each other at the pay-per-view. So Poison against the Associates, and so we'll see what's going on here between DeVille and Akbar and Ezekiel Crane. It seems like they have a discussion and a conversation that needs to be had.
You're not supposed to call them party boys anymore. Not on the air.
Did I? I didn't, did I?
No. I'm just trying to tell you in case you think of. No.
But I would never call them the party boys. Yeah, I would never ever mention that they were once the party boys and now because they've asked not to be called the party boys.
Yes, they're so dangerous, man.
So,
party boy. I think the PRD maybe I say it like that. The P. Oh yeah, man.
So now they are the males of what would you say? Group fun interaction. Because group fun interaction sounds like it would be a party. So
yeah. Oh, we're both getting fat lips next week.
We're in so much trouble.
Oh, man. But you know what? Like I said, I mean, shout out to the manager behind the Poison Group right there because
one of the OGs.
Oh yeah, if like I said, if 18 cycles as a champion doesn't mean anything to you, then you're just not playing this game. I
Yeah.
mean, just the number of competitors and just top quality that he faced, and even at the end when we were giving him such a hard time about cutting his hair and everything, I mean they just still kept putting it down. So I know
Right.
CC's not going too far. So I know.
Well, and if I may, uh, he faced Naul, right? And if you open up to the last three cycles, Naul was number 3, and CC DeVille was number 5. CC
Oof.
DeVille, uh, Naul did manage to win 2 matches, but CC DeVille had the 5th highest strategy average out of anyone, and he just happened to face someone in the top 4, right?
Wow.
And so even in losing the Can-Am title after 18 cycles, 5th place is still, almost at the top. He would have beaten almost anyone else,
Right. Oh yeah.
right?
I
So
mean, and
even
we.
I guess my point is, like, even in losing, he didn't lose because he wasn't good. He just happened to face somebody who was even more on, if that makes sense.
Yes. Oh yeah. I mean, it just after 18 cycles, it was bound to happen. What's your infamous line on a long enough timeline?
On a long enough timeline, the survival rate for everyone drops to 0.
Zero.
0.
Now, someone that's surviving and seems like he's enjoying himself. This masked man is just bumping Taylor Swift and
Yeah. We saw a different side. I did not see the masked wrestler as a Taylor Swift fan, but here he is.
what?
Here he is enjoying his Tay
What?
Tay.
What?
Is it Tay Tay or Tai Tai? I'm not a Taylor
Hey,
Swift.
Tay Tay, Tai
Tay
Tai,
Tay.
TT,
Okay. Oh,
tomato,
better be
tomato,
careful. Yeah.
tomatoes,
Um,
tomato.
yeah. So he is a Taylor Swift fan, and it might surprise you to know Taylor Swift did appear at a UNL pay-per-view. Yeah.
This recent one or
No, one of our very first pay-per-views. Taylor Swift.
nice
Yeah. Yeah.
halftime entertainment or
No, she was involved in a match.
oh no, oh
Yeah,
no.
yeah, and she lost to our Kardashian.
Oh, nicely done there,
So yeah,
commish.
yeah, yeah,
Nicely done.
yes.
Bring
Just
it, bring it, bringing
little
all the
little known factoid.
nice, bringing all the competition.
Yes.
Now, looks like you know, he's ready for Zeke's
Causing
challenge.
oh, yeah, yeah. He is ready, and I feel like he doesn't mention it here, but like he's got something up his sleeve, right?
Oh, he has a whole mask. Of course, he has
That's
something up
true.
his
Yeah,
sleeve.
that's fair statement. Fair
Oh,
statement. Yes, very true. So he does threaten to shove his head through the window of the car, though.
what?
That's not very nice. Good
Oh
thing this
man.
match is unsanctioned.
Oh, this is gonna go nuts. This really
It's gonna be
is.
wild. If you thought the last match was wild, and it was, I am genuinely concerned with how wild this backseat of a car match.
Really. Oh
But
yeah. Now, shout out to Black Mass. They set off to come in and change the landscape of the tag team division, and they sure have. I mean,
they up the ante. Yeah, we hear from Buford here and his cousin Rex Redwood. Yeah, but he definitely kind of Buford, that is, definitely kind of calls out that they came in and they're doing what they said they were going to do, and that he is not thoroughly impressed with with the Masked Man or with Ezekiel Crane or even Alaska McFleece. So
interesting. Now, I
yeah,
mean, I mean, shout out to Black Mass. I mean, I guess if you want to, uh, what is it? Check off all the achievements here in the UNL. I guess bring home that UNL tag team championship the commissioner won.
Yeah.
You will have to team up with with someone else, I think, or wait a minute.
Black
Oh
Mass
no,
actually is. Yeah, Black
they
Mass
already are eligible.
could yeah, and I mean I think that's kind of exciting. So
Nice.
we'll see their journey. They managed to defeat the champions in a non-title match in Cycle 36, and then went to a draw with the champions in Cycle 37.
Ooh.
So we'll see where we go from here. So now they'll have to win a non-title match again. But I wouldn't count Black Mass out ever. But we also have Blackwood's cousin Rex, who slapped a young fan and says that he earned it. And
Nice.
then he goes on to call out our good friend Alexander Cromwell, and excuse me, had to get that out. So he calls out Cromwell and tells him, he better keep his name out of his mouth, and I would be careful if I were Cromwell, because if Rex is willing to slap young fans, he's almost certainly willing to slap old commentators.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned my lesson with CC, and like I said, I can expect. I'm looking over my shoulder right now as I'm recording this because, oh man, just never know. You just never know.
You never know when those poison will show up.
You get us both hurt, man. Be careful now. You know, Ticket to Ride, huh?
Well, before we talk about A Ticket to Ride, we should mention we have a few lines from the Dead Rabbits, who say,
yes, Sir Robert Youthworth.
Yes,
How could we forget?
Sir Robert, one of my favorite names in the IWA, Hughesworth. They did give credit where it's due. Quick Kill managed to win match number 5, but they say that's all they're gonna win. And Walter Monk McGinn has another movie quote: "Nobody puts baby in a corner." So I do love this like slow development. I don't know if you've noticed, but Walter seems to have at least occasional movie quotes. So I appreciate it as someone who enjoys good cinema. So that happens, and Cutting says that they will not win another match, and now we do know that.
Wait a minute. You can't just go over the movie quote and not say what movie it's from, or at least ask if we know what movie it's from.
Do you know what movie?
Of course not. I suck at movies.
Of course you do. Of course you do. Everybody does.
Dude, I'm gonna say Baby Driver. Baby Driver,
Baby Driver, maybe. No. Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Oh, dude. Okay, wait a minute. Put it in the comments. Let's not spoil it. Well, I'm sorry.
I'm ashamed that you don't know.
Wow, really? Is that? Oh man,
it's that iconic. Yeah, I'm a little yeah.
Maybe I just.
Upset. Hopefully Walter isn't upset that you don't know.
Oh man, maybe I just.
He's pretty sadistic. I think he'd mess somebody up for less than not knowing what movie that's from.
Oh man, I'm done. Oh man. Okay. We'll put it in the comments. We'll be back. We'll be back for that.
Yes. So Ticket to Ride.
Oh man.
TVB.
Now. Now shout out to, and again, even though Art Deco I don't think is even oh yeah, he is mentioned once, but yes. I mean it just ever since the mention of Art Deco,
ever since he came back,
yeah, it's been fuego. I mean,
he has inspired these gentlemen to great heights.
Whether he's inspiring them or helping them cheat or whatever he's doing,
it is
just
working.
Distracting with the clothing, whatever it is, man. Oh man, it's working.
Yes.
Oh.
So we see TVB cross off the TV title from his world tour aspirations, and he calls his shot. He says, "Now that I've won the TV title, I'm coming for the league title." And this cycle, sure enough, He is our UNL League champion. So
Now,
TVB has completed his world tour.
now for a few cycles, I've been kind of hinting or mentioning to the Double Dutch gang or collation or stable, whatever faction, fraction, whatever you want to call it,
Faction, yeah, faction's good.
and to try and find a focus and to, or somebody to kind of, I think we were trying to push on Sugar High onto them,
Yeah, I still think Sugar High against Double Dutch would be a great feud.
right. I mean, and all this time I'm over here trying to get them to focus and on someone, and little did I know they had their focus very, very clear themselves.
On winning titles.
Yeah. Oh man, shout out.
Yeah, and that's what they have been doing.
Or what's their chant?
Huzzah!
Huzzah, huzzah.
Yeah, old time wrestling.
Nice, I love it.
Yeah, dude, I love everything about Double Dutch 2000. They make me laugh.
Oh yeah, you know what? We need a little, especially at
Especially nowadays, right? With with unsanctioned backseat of a car matches and street fights and
Now, oh wait a minute. You know what? Now that you mentioned the street fight, who do you got on that one? I mean, I put the edge. I put the edge on with Rancher because Rancher's just a SOB.
Yeah. I think in a street fight, and the way the mental games have played, I have to give the advantage to Rick Rancher. Yeah.
Now who asked for the match? Rancher asked for the street fight?
My understanding is it was a mutual. They both wanted a street fight.
Interesting that McFleece would choose to or opt to fight without ropes.
Well, a street fight that I doesn't necessarily mean they take the ropes off. A street fight just means like it's basically a no DQ match.
Oh, gotcha. So they can fight inside and outside and everywhere.
Everywhere, no countouts, no DQs, right?
Okay.
Now that does bring up a good point though. As a no DQ match, right? As a street fight, Alaska doesn't really have any friends, but Rick Rancher has one very big man of few words friend. And I just wonder, I wonder if that'll come into play in the street fight.
Oh yeah, especially the way things transpired this cycle.
Past cycle. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Makes me wonder. If nothing else, Rick Rancher is a master strategist.
Now, no, we can't get into that. No special referee. Just you're gonna try and let
I have no information on a special guest referee.
Because that one's gonna get out of control.
It could very well get out of control. So hopefully we put our senior official on that.
Oh man. Now is there anything else? I'm looking down on this one. I know we said we had a few people that were out.
Yeah.
Now, pay-per-view coming up. Good time to get stuff moving towards your next angle. So I think we saw some openings.
Yeah, for sure. If you are currently, like if you're building towards this pay-per-view, kind of the decision time of do we think this has enough momentum to carry us through to World Warfare 3, which is again like our WrestleMania. It's our biggest show of the year. And then, or, is it time for something fresh? This is also a good time, if you're looking for a feud, somebody else is looking for a feud, hit them up. Now you'll have plenty of time to build into the next pay-per-view. There are definitely a few people available. Please message me if you need help with that. I would be happy to help wherever possible. We did have a few people inactive this cycle. Would love to see them back, obviously. That goes hopefully without saying.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's just
I but
we,
the trash talk we have, as you may notice, Flip and I were pretty enthusiastic about it. It's excellent. I would put UNL's trash talk up against any other league in the entire IWA. Um, I think our trash talk is a hallmark of the work ethic and the effort that our managers make, and I appreciate it and I enjoy it a lot.
oh yeah, I double that one. I mean, yeah, well, we say it all the time. I mean, there's a lot of leagues out there, but if you're looking for that full package, look no further.
I think the UNL is a great option.
Oh yeah. Now, Commissioner, we're gonna go ahead and sign this one off. Dog days have been they've been killer, man. These days are hot.
Yeah.
It's hot. But the action is right there with the rising temperatures. So a lot of fun here in the UNL. You've been listening to Commissioner Scott Anderson and myself, IWA Flip. Keep tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.